ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताकस्वामिनिति नामिने नमः आचार्यपादाय नितायकृपप्रदायिने गौरकथादामदाय नगरग्रामतारिणे नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna, my dear devotees. Thank you so much for coming to this session today on struggling with faith? Question mark. So I want to start with this analogy of the frog who was in the boiling water. So this is a theory that if a frog is in the water and then that pot of water is kept on the fire, frog starts physiologically starts adjusting to the temperature of the hot water because the frog has the ability to increase the temperature according to the temperature outside. So when the frog enters into this water in a cool pot of water, and eventually slowly the heat is, of course, not like the full fire immediately burning type, but it's soft, and the frog starts to accommodate to its heat. And then at one point it doesn't believe anymore that it's getting hotter and it could die. Never. It doesn't just realize it. So, but whereas as opposed to the frog who is like, see that top frog, he's inside the pot and it's peacefully gone to rest because the water is becoming warmer and warmer and warmer, and then the frog gets getting accustomed to that heat and goes to sleep. Whereas on the image in the below bottom left, we see that it's a boiling pot of water, and if you put a frog in a boiling pot of water, what will the frog do? It will jump out immediately. So this analogy is to represent an important point today that I want to bring up. It is the importance of struggle. Struggle is not a bad thing. Struggle is a good thing, because in this case, this frog who jumped out of the water immediately because the water is too hot experienced struggle. So it got out. Whereas with this other frog, which was inside and getting warmer and warmer and getting accustomed, there was no struggle. So the comforts of life makes us complacent towards the purpose and the goal of our life, which is to develop Krishna Prema, which is to do Anartha Nivriti, which is to develop the taste for chanting the holy names, to develop the taste to understand Krishna and to glorify Krishna and to make Krishna our center. So this analogy represents our inability to adapt to, not adapt, our inability to embrace struggle, because embracing struggle has many benefits. So the point here is very simple concept. What is it? Don't get used to it. Don't get used to life. Don't get used to, oh, it's okay. Today I slipped meaning we have, let's say, certain bottom lines in our life. I should not, no meat eating, into no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex, no watching nonsense things, not gossiping, all these things, don't offending devotees. There are certain do's and don'ts. So sometimes the gossip, let's take example gossip. When it says don't get used to it, take gossip as an example. Stay in that water and say slowly. You saw that person, he said he did this today. You know that person is such a dumb person. Oh, you know that person. Then it's slowly. The temperature of the water keeps increasing. There's no struggle. There's only the increase of offenses, but it is difficult for us to recognize Why? Because we're getting accustomed to it. We're getting adjusted to it. There is the 10th offense against the holy name is, it is also offense. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting, and it is also an offense to become attached, knowing after understanding so many instructions on this matter, to not to give up attachment is also an offense. So the point is, even after understanding so many instructions, we still get used to it's okay, everybody is doing anyway. Everybody is, whatever it is. Everybody is watching movies. It's okay for me to watch. Everybody is anyway gossiping and talking about everybody. So it's okay. So because everybody does it, it doesn't become okay. It is still a mad elephant offense. It can be very dangerous for our spiritual life. So this analogy gives us the foundation for today's talk. Now, getting into the discussion today, what is the struggle? What is the struggle? Why is this struggle there? It's a very important question to ask. Why there is that struggle? I will be quoting from one of our Vaishnava saints. He wrote very beautiful compositions, so it's very relevant to today's topic. I will be quoting from that. ಯಾಕೆ ಪುಟ್ಟದು ಕರುಣೆಯನ್ನೊಳು ಸಾಕಲಾರೆಯ ನಿನ್ನ ಶರಣನ ನೂಕಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಲೋಕದಿ ಖ್ಯಾತಿ ಪಪ್ಪುವುದೇ ಲೋಕನೀಯನೆ ನೀನೆ ಎನ್ನನು ಜೋಕೆಯಿಂದಲಿ ಕಾಯು ಬಿಡದೆ ಏಕದೇವನು ನೀನೆ ವೆಂಕಟ ಶೇಷಗಿರಿವಾಸ ಏಕದೇವನು ನೀನೆ ವೆಂಕಟ ಶೇಷಗಿರಿವಾಸ. This is invocation about the invoking of the faith within our heart. This is a cry to the Lord, asking the Lord to invoke that faith which is not present in my heart. Oh my dear Krishna, why hasn't compassion arisen in my own heart? Why hasn't the faith arisen in my heart? Although I know I am a puppet in your hands and I am not surrendered to you, but still I am controlled by you. But why have you left me in this troublesome situation? And when I am not realizing that I am in this very precarious situation. My dear Lord Krishna, what fame will you gain if you leave me in this condition? Just like a frog who's getting accustomed to that warm water. Please don't leave me in this condition. You cannot just push me into this material existence. Please, just like a father who takes care of a child, take care of me with care. Pull me out of this false entanglement. Please never give up on me. So the concept again is, sometimes there's this, I found something about this fallen man is now a puppet in the devil's hands, albeit not as a lifeless puppet as the county fair, but a live puppet who has willingly given himself over to the devil, taken captive by him to do his will. So the reality is that we may say, no, Krishna consciousness is too much struggle, yeah. I have to wake up in the morning and I have to chant then, and my head is not into it. I don't feel to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to come to these meetings and anartha nivritti. Why should I do it? It's strugglesome. But the truth is that if we don't admit, and if we don't become a puppet in the hands of the Lord, who has the best interest, we will become puppet of the devil. So being a puppet in the devil's hand willingly is what we have done for many, many lifetimes. Many, many lifetimes I have given my life to the devil. Every lifetime I have thought, this lifetime I'll get it right. I'll fix it. In this way I'll try to enjoy. In that way I will try to enjoy. Nate swartagatim hi vishnum durashayaye bahirartamaninah. Andhayatandayupaniyamas tepi satantyam urudam nibaddam. So Prahlad Maharaj is actually reiterating this principle that these people have not realized what is the real benefit. Today in our Bhagavatam, Rajasthali Mataji was reading our affirmation today, and that affirmation was spot on. It said that if we are not chanting the holy name, it essentially boils down to the fact that I don't care enough about myself. Why? Because chanting of the holy name is the Yuga Dharma. Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Namaiva Kevalam. Kalau Nastyaiva, Nastyaiva, Nastyaiva Gatiranyata. There's no other way, no other way, and no other way to get out of this troublesome situation. And no matter how much we think I don't want to struggle in Krishna consciousness, out of Krishna consciousness is much, much more struggle. People they walk with high heel shoes and they harm their bodies in that way. People have to perform so much austerities to go driving to work every morning, trying to please the boss, sacrificing their sleep. There was a guy who was working for Tesla. It became like a viral article. He was actually sleeping in his car outside the parking lot just so that he can reach his milestone and never miss even 1 minute of work. And he got fired. So, isn't that struggle, my dear friends? Isn't that a struggle for existence, struggle for survival? Then why is there a lack of faith in the Supreme Lord who is providing food for the ants and for the elephants and providing rain and providing food grains without any cost? The earth is profusely producing food. There are river streams providing us drinking water, the sky and the air. It's all free of cost. My dear friends, the best things in this world are free of charge. Mother's love, air, water. Of course, you have to buy water. You may want to buy water, but the idea is that spring water is even bottled and kept, but that spring water is God's gift. And so, still, why is there the struggle to have the faith? ಹಿಂದೆ ನೀ ಪ್ರಹ್ಲಾದ ಗೋಸುಗ ಎಂದು ನೋಡದ ರೂಪ ಧರಿಸಿ ಬಂದು ದೈತ್ಯನ ಒಡಲ ಬಗೆದು ಪೊರೆದೆ ಬಾಲಕನ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗಳ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ವಿಪಿನದಿ ನಿಂದು ತಪಿಸುವ ಪಂಚವತ್ಸರ ಕಂದನ ಧ್ರುವಗೊಲಿದು ಪೊರೆದೆಯು ಶೇಷಗಿರಿವಾಸ ಕಂದನ ಧ್ರುವಗೊಲಿದು ಪೊರೆದೆಯು ಶೇಷಗಿರಿವಾಸ. Oh my dear Krishna, imagine if there was no struggle for Prahlad, would we still be glorifying him? The struggle that he was put through, this is in the past, my dear Lord, how you are protecting so many devotees. And for that struggle, you appeared in the form never ever imaginable or conceivable as Nrsimhadev. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, it says that Satyam Vidhatum Nijabritya Bhashitam Vyaptim Chabhuteshva Kilesho Chatmanah Adrishyatam Atyadbhutarupam Udbhavam Stambhe Sabhaya Namrugam Namanusham. So just to make Prahlad Maharaj's words come true, you broke out of that pillar and you appeared in the most magnificent incarnation nobody had ever seen. Adbhuta, most fascinating form. And why did you do it? Just to keep that one word of Prahlad true. So imagine Prahlad's life without struggle. Would you appear? And then, oh, what about Dhruva? What about the humiliation Dhruva went through? So imagine, my dear friends, if Dhruva didn't go through that humiliation, if he didn't go to the forest, if he didn't surrender to the Lord, if he didn't give up everything and just give himself to the Lord, would Lord Vishnu appear? So what would be life of Dhruva Maharaj without that struggle? And he was a 5-year-old boy who stood on one leg and did tapas. That just like you protected that boy by giving him the courage and the vulnerability of a little boy to go into the forest and do tapasya, similarly, please invoke some faith in my heart, in the faithless, empty, void heart of mine. Please invoke faith. Let me not look for substitutes outside. ಮಟುವಿನೊಳಗಿನ ಮಕರಿ ಕಾಲನು ಪಿಡಿದು ಬಾಸಿಸಿ ಕರಿಯು ತ್ರಿಜಗದೊಡೆಯ ಪಾಲಿಸು ಎನ್ನುಲ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಬಂದು ಪಾಲಿಸಿದೆ. ಮಡದಿ ಮಾತನು ಕೇಳಿ ಬಲು ಪರಿಬಡವ ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಣ ಧಾನ್ಯ ಕೊಡಲು ಪೊಡವಿಗಸದೊಳು ಭಾಗ್ಯ ನೀಡಿದೆ ಶೇಷಗಿರಿವಾಸ. ಪೊಡವಿಗಸದೊಳು ಭಾಗ್ಯ ನೀಡಿದೆ ಶೇಷಗಿರಿವಾಸ. Just like with your Sudarshan Chakra, you came and killed the crocodile which had captured the leg of it, Gajendra, the elephant. and you ran and came and saved him. So, similarly, please also save me. And just like you gave everything to Sudama Vipra, who came with a morsel of grains of chira to you, and you gave him the benediction of everything. Similarly, my dear Lord, please release me from all kinds of fear and bestow your faith into my heart. ಪಿಂತು ಮಾಡಿದ ಮಹಿಮೆಗಳನ ನೆಂತು ವರ್ಣಿಸಲೇನೋ ಫಲ ಶ್ರೀಕಾಂತ ಎನ್ನನು ಪೊರೆಯು ಕೀರುತಿ ನಿನಗೆ ಫಲವೆನಗೆ ಕಂತು ಜನಕನೆ ಎನ್ನ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನ ಅಂತರಂಗದಿ ನೀನೆ ಸರ್ವದ ನಿಂತು ಪ್ರೇರಣೆ ಮಾಳ್ಪೆ ಸರ್ವದ ಶೇಷಗಿರಿವಾಸ ನಿಂತು ಪ್ರೇರಣೆ ಮಾಳ್ಪೆ ಸರ್ವದ ಶೇಷಗಿರಿವಾಸ. Means, oh my dear Krishna, oh my sweet cowherd boy, was always surrounded by the Gopa boys and the cows of Vrindavan. How can I sufficiently glorify all the pastimes that you have done of protecting devotees, of nourishing devotees, and the way you're always cultivating the bhakti in the hearts of everyone, even the animals. Oh, my dear Lord, who is so merciful to all living entities, please consider my plea. Please invoke faith in my heart, and within the chambers of my heart, in the little temple of my heart, may your form be worshipped. I'm trying to establish you within the deepest core of my heart. Please give me the inspiration to always make you my priority and to never ever stray from the path of having faith in you. ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸನೆ ಭಕ್ತ ಪೋಷಣೆ ಜ್ಞಾನಿ ಕುಲಗಳಿಗ ಭಯದಾಯಕ ದೀನ ಬಾಂಧವ ನೀನೆಯನ ಮನದರ್ಥ ಪೂರೈಸೋ ಅನುಪಮೋಪಮ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಸಂಪದ ವಿನಯ ಪೂರ್ವಕ ವಿತ್ತು ಪಾಲಿಸು ಜನುಮ ಜನುಮಕ್ಕೆ ಮರೆಯಬೇಡವು ಶೇಷಗಿರಿವಾಸ ಜನುಮ ಜನುಮಕ್ಕೆ ಮರೆಯಬೇಡವು ಶೇಷಗಿರಿವಾಸ. Oh, my dear Srinivasa, oh, one who is very dear to the goddess of fortune, Srimati Radharani. You are known to be very merciful, very kind towards those who are knowledgeable. And you seem to have a reputation that you protect those who consider you theirs. And you must give that knowledge into my heart, because only you can give knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. And please, my dear Lord, give me the knowledge with great utmost humility, so I may never ever take it for granted and lose it. And my dear Krishna, please, since you have now given this birth to me, protect me all through this birth. May I never, ever, lifetime after lifetime, ever forget everything you're doing to me, everything that you are helping me with. May I never, ever forget you. ಮತವು ಮತ್ಸರ ಲೋಭ ಮೋಹವು ಒದಗಬಾರದು ಎನ್ನ ಮನದಲ್ಲಿ ಪದುಮನಾಭನೆ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಭಕ್ತಿ ವಿರಕ್ತಿ ನೀನಿತ್ತು ಎನ್ನ ಮನದಲ್ಲಿ ನೀನ ನಿಂತು ಘನ್ನ ಕಾರ್ಯವ ಮಾಡಿ ಮಾಡಿಸೋ ಧನ್ಯನೆಂದೆನಿಸೆನ್ನ ಲೋಕದಿ ಶೇಷಗಿರಿವಾಸ ಧನ್ಯನೆಂದೆನಿಸೆನ್ನ ಲೋಕದಿ ಶೇಷಗಿರಿವಾಸ. Oh, my dear Krishna, the purest of the pure, may lust, greed, anger, envy never touch my heart. May my heart be touched only by your faith, and may my heart always keep the image of Padmanabha, the lotus-eyed one, and please bestow me knowledge, devotion, and detachment from this material world. And my dear Lord, what more can I ask you than to ask you, please be situated in the middle of my heart, and may your form be manifest within the deepest cores of my heart, and may my tongue always be decorated with your holy names, and may you always protect me without ever forgetting me. This is my humble most prayer to you, my dear Krishna. ಅಂದ ನುಡಿ ಪುಸಿಯಾಗಬಾರದು ಬಂದ ಭಾಗ್ಯವು ಹೋಗಬಾರದು ಕುಂದು ಬಾರದೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಕರುಣವು ದಿನದಿ ವರ್ಧಿಸಲಿ ನಿಂದೆ ಮಾಡುವ ಜನರ ಸಂಘವು ಎಂದಿಗಾದರೂ ದೊರೆಯಬಾರದು ಎಂದು ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ಬೇಡಿಕೊಂಬೆನು ಶೇಷಗಿರಿವಾಸ ಎಂದು ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ಬೇಡಿಕೊಂಬೆನು ಶೇಷಗಿರಿವಾಸ. Oh, my dear Krishna, may all this good fortune of having association of devotees, of having the chance to chant these holy names, all this mercy of Guru and Gauranga, May I never lose any of this. And may I never ever be in the association, bad association of people who make me forgetful of your instructions. May I never ever be in touch with people who offend devotees. My deepest prayer at your lotus feet is, please, I beg of you to always keep me in the association of like-minded devotees. ಏನು ಬೇಡಲಿ ಎನ್ನದೆ ಮನಸಾನುರಾಗದಿ ಎನ್ನ ಪಾಲಿಸು ನಾನಾ ವಿಧ ವಿಧ ಸೌಖ್ಯ ನೀಡುವುದಿಹ ಪರಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸನೆ ನಿನ್ನ ದಾಸಗೆ ಏನು ಕೊರತಿಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಲು ನೀನೆ ನಿಂತಿ ವಿಧದಿ ಪೇಳಿಸು ಶೇಷಗಿರಿವಾಸ ನೀನೆ ನಿಂತಿ ವಿಧದಿ ಪೇಳಿಸು ಶೇಷಗಿರಿವಾಸ. Oh, my dear Krishna, what can I pray to you? You've already given you everything I need to achieve the purpose of my life and to find spiritual happiness in this life and in the next. Oh, Srinivasa, oh, please, my dear Lord, make me realize that I am your servant. In that lies my happiness. And may I remember how every situation is perfectly designed, tailor-made for me to learn my lessons and come closer to you. Please, my dear Krishna, establish this truth in my heart and may doubts and worries and confusion never haunt me again. ಆರು ಮುನಿದವರೇನು ಮಾಡ್ಪರೋ ಆರು ಒಲಿದವರೇನು ಮಾಡ್ಪರೋ ಆರು ನೇಹಿಗರಾರು ದ್ವೇಷಿಗಳಾರು ದಶೀನರು ಕ್ರೂರ ಜೀವರ ಹಣಿದು ಸಾತ್ವಿಕ ಧೀರ ಜೀವರ ಪೊರೆದು ನಿನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾರ ಬಕುತಿಯ ನಿತ್ತು ಪಾಲಿಸು ಶೇಷಗಿರಿವಾಸ ಅಪಾರ ಬಕುತಿಯ ನಿತ್ತು ಪಾಲಿಸು ಶೇಷಗಿರಿವಾಸ. My dear Lord, what will people who are upset with me capable of doing? What can somebody who doesn't like me, what harm can they do for me? And what will people of this world who like me and validate me and adore me, what is the benefit of it? And how long will this enmity and friendship of this material world last? May I always remember that you are my best friend and you never ever abandon any jiva, anybody, any living entity, may it be a worm in the stool. You accompany them as Paramatma in their heart. So, my dear Krishna, may I give up attachment to this cruelty of material existence, of dualities of this material world, of thinking this is my friend and this is my enemy. Make me come to the platform of Sattva Guna, O Krishna, and nourish me and give me a lot of plenty of bhakti within my heart, and please take me as your own. ನಿನ್ನ ಸೇವೆಯ ನಿತ್ತು ಎನಗೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಪದಯುಗ ಭಕ್ತಿ ನೀಡಿ ನಿನ್ನ ಗುಣಗಳ ಸ್ತವನ ಮಾಡುವ ಜ್ಞಾನ ನೀನಿತ್ತು ಎನ್ನ ಮನದಲ್ಲಿ ನೀನೆ ನಿಂತು ಘನ್ನ ಕಾರ್ಯವ ಮಾಡಿಸೋ ಧನ್ಯನೆಂದೆನಿಸೆನ್ನ ಲೋಕದಿ ಶೇಷಗಿರಿವಾಸ ಧನ್ಯನೆಂದೆನಿಸೆನ್ನ ಲೋಕದಿ ಶೇಷಗಿರಿವಾಸ. My dear Lord, I ask you for the utmost highest benediction. Please engage me in your pure devotional service. May I always glorify you with great devotion in my heart. May not just my tongue, but also my soul glorify you. And please give me the knowledge so that I can cross over this material existence. And my dear Krishna, please stand in the middle, in the lotus of my heart, and make me do your will. Give me the power to achieve the purpose of your life by making me do the greatest of all things, that is to be part of your mission. My dear Lord, I am a useless, insignificant servant, but you are my significant, you are my strength, you are my power. So empower me to do something meaningful in this life. ಕರುಣ ಸಾಗರ ನೀನೆ ನಿಜ ಪದ ಶರಣವತ್ಸಲ ನೀನೆ ಶಾಶ್ವತ ಶರಣ ಜನ ಮಂದಾರ ಕಮಲ ಕಾಂತ ಜಯವಂತ ನಿರುತ ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ನುತಿಸಿ ಪಾಡುವೆ ವರದ ಗುರು ಜಗನ್ನಾಥ ವಿಠಲ ಪರಮ ಪ್ರೇಮದಿ ಪೊರೆಯೋ ಎನ್ನನು ಶೇಷಗಿರಿವಾಸ ಪರಮ ಪ್ರೇಮದಿ ಪೊರೆಯೋ ಎನ್ನನು ಶೇಷಗಿರಿವಾಸ. So, my dear Karuna Sagara, you are an ocean of mercy. I am carrying mountains of sins with me, and you can destroy those mountains with the ocean of mercy that you are. Oh Sharana Vatsala, oh one who has a reputation to never ever give up on surrendered souls. And oh my dear Krishna, oh Kamala Kanta, oh lotus-eyed one, I will constantly chant your holy names. Please give me shelter at your lotus feet. And please always nourish me with love so that I can make you yours. I am yours, Krishna. My love is for you. Please keep putting me back on track, my dear Krishna. So, in this way, the Vaishnavacharyas are reminding us that there are millions of reasons if we want to cultivate faith. And there may be bunch of reasons to not have faith. But even not having faith is faith in not having faith. So we cannot run away from the aspect of putting our faith somewhere. Sometimes we may become very disheartened that people are not trustworthy. We may have bad experiences in an organization. Maybe the leadership, maybe the management may mishandle some circumstance, and somebody may not treat us very nicely. Sorry, I'm just going to turn on light. So you can. And we may become very suspicious. Our doubt, our faith may be shaken. Our mind may be filled with doubts. Why am I in this organization? I lost faith in the leader. We had in ISKCON many gurus fell down. They had fall downs. They went away. They had sensual weaknesses. They had some other kinds of weaknesses. They left, and so many people's faith also went away with them. But there are devotees. If we want to see, there are hundreds of devotees whose first guru fell, and they took initiation from another guru. That guru also fell, and they took initiation from the third person. So we do have, if we want to see the faith in the heart, it is separate from people, because faith in the Lord, faith in the scripture is beyond human power. It's higher power. We don't make another human being our higher power. We always keep Krishna as a higher power. So we're always looking for that message. What is that message? Purandara Dasa, he's a contemporary during Lord Chaitanya's time. He came before Lord Chaitanya to establish the foundation. So he says, ಕಾಗದ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಕಮಲನಾಭನದು, ಕಾಗದ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಕಮಲನಾಭನದು, ಈ ಕಾಗದವನ್ನು ಓದಿಕೊಂಡು ಕಾಲವ ಕಳೆಯಿರೋ, ಕಾಗದ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಕಮಲನಾಭನದು, ಕಾಮ ಕ್ರೋಧ ಬೇಡಿರೆಂಬ ಕಾಗದ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಕಾಗದ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಕಮಲನಾಭನದು, ಕಾಗದ ಬಂದಿದೆ, post has arrived. The royal mail has arrived. The letter from Krishna has arrived. My dear soul, conditioned soul, wake up. Give up the consideration of who is this postman? What is the postman? What kind of uniform is he wearing? What kind of a bag he's wearing? Focus on the letter, my dear friend. Have faith in the Lord, in the Lord's message. So sometimes when we have lack of faith in people, we can remember this. We can remember that I have faith in Krishna. And sometimes Krishna humbles us, and he wants us to realize that we shouldn't put our faith into mortals. Rukmini Devi in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, she tells, I don't want to marry a man who's a bag of bones and mustache and stool and urine. I don't want that. And she says that the men of this world are only bag of bones. I don't want to marry a man who's a bag of bones. Rukmini Devi says, she says, I want to give my heart to the Supreme Lord, who's ever youthful, who's always 16-year-old. So that's only Krishna. So Rukmini Devi is giving us that indication of the fact that in this material world, everybody is conditioned by 3 modes of material nature: Sattva guna, Rajas guna, and Tamoguna. And everybody has their weak moments. And all the human beings have 4 defects. What are the 4 defects? Something may be happening right outside the window, but if the window is closed, I cannot see. So I have limited senses. Mm, So there are four defects of our personality, all human beings. Limited senses. The temple, what's happening in temple, I cannot hear it. I cannot see it. And we have a tendency to get illusion. I may think, oh, somebody may say this is this, and I may believe it. And then there's a tendency to cheat. There's a tendency to say, buy this, it's very nice, it's not broken at all. Maybe it's fully broken inside. And then the other one is to lie, right? What's the fourth one? What are the four defects? Anybody remembers?
Illusion, Mataji.
Commit mistakes.
Mistakes. Thank you. The fourth one is to commit mistakes. So there is every possibility of a human being committing mistake. So the point I'm trying to make here, my dear friends, is that sometimes we will come across human beings in the form of seniors, shiksha gurus, mentors, and they are like postmen. We come across kirtaniyas, some other wonderful Vaishnavas who give classes, scholars. But we should be very careful to guard our faith in the Lord by not making them our higher power. We should make them the postman. Postman is very nice, but we don't become attached to the postman. The point is the message that the postman brings. So, similarly, we should be cautious to not attach unhealthy importance to positions and titles, and always make sure that the Lord's names, the Lord's glories are kept in the center, and not make it about the persons, the human beings, because we are all flawed, and sometimes we can we can take it for granted. Fame, money can make people more illusion. Madha means illusion. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we were just reading about Indra was that example. Durvasa Muni gave him this celestial garland that he had just received from Vishnu, very powerful, full of mystic powers. And Indra, he said, what is this? I have so many garland. He just took it and threw it at Airavat, his elephant. And the elephant didn't like the smell, and it also trampled those flowers. And then, of course, big problem happened for Indra. And then after he got cursed, then he said, why did I do that? So the point is, sometimes when in within a religious organization, when we too much put someone on a pedestal, it becomes very uncomfortable. It becomes very inauthentic. Actually, it's very painful to be a celebrity because we can't be ourselves sometimes. Everybody expects you should be on a high pedestal. And then it becomes too much, too much, too much, too much. And hold up, hold up, hold up. And that's why gurus fell down. That's why big people, they show one thing in the front, but then they have weaknesses because they have not crossed the stage of anartha nivritti. So we should come to that point of anartha nivritti that, okay, these are wonderful Vaishnavas. Without Vaishnavas, without postman, we'll never get the letter. So without postman, we cannot get all the services, kirtans, classes, and everything. But we don't need to place the importance on the personality alone. It should not become an organization based on charismatic leadership. It should be an organization based on who is glorifying the Lord. Otherwise, it becomes, oh, they are more popular. And then it becomes like a culture of contamination. Then there will be no difference between material world, movie stars, and other whatever kirtaniyas or great speakers or whatever. So we should guard our mind from offending by understanding the importance. So this is a very important concept. Bhaktivinoda Thakur speaks about it within our organization. Also, we are learning that. We are learning that. And even Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the best example. He was God himself, but he never even said that. He never said, I'm God. He just said, chant the holy names of God. So this is an example of not about charismatic leadership, but it's we are Gaudiya Vaishnavas. It's about humility. It's about surrender. It's about and identifying the real. What is my real identity? Chaitanya Radas Samoye Chaitanya Radas. Chaitanya Radas Samoye Tar Das Radas. And also we are our Guru's servants. So this is something to be careful, because otherwise, many times what I've heard from experience also, People lose faith not because of Krishna, not because of, it's because of the way devotees deal. So that brings us to the conclusion of today's presentation, which is we also have a responsibility. How we behave could either bring faith in somebody's heart or can break somebody's faith. So we should be very careful in how we present Krishna consciousness, what kind of promises we make to devotees, how do we bring them to Krishna consciousness. When Sankirtan happens, some people are told, come, become life member, you will get free room wherever you go, come. So those life members who, this is a true story, true statistics. So those people who became life members because people were preached saying, come, you can get this, you can get that facility. Those are the people who were very demanding and they were always like nagging. And then there were those who became life members because they wanted to contribute towards the mission. And those preachers who preached to them, they preached in Sattvaguna. These people never came and they never acted in entitlement, saying, hey, I deserve this, I deserve that. So I'm also learning more and more as I'm traveling and as I'm teaching and preaching around that culture of putting the speaker on the pedestal, expecting whatever to be some Mahan person, it's actually detrimental for us. If you love a speaker, a person, we need to guard them by not putting them on a pedestal and understand that we need to be careful. We should see them as a postman. We don't start worshipping the postman. We should worship, of course. I mean, postman is just an analogy. We should, of course, worship all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, but ultimately we should remember that the struggle of faith becomes intense. I was thinking what should be the conclusion of today's talk, and I was asking Krishna for a sign. And then in the last couple 2 3 days, I have had some astrological readings, and in all the readings, the issue was with faith. And why? Because the temple, the persons where they were living, they had conflicts. And due to that, so much was shaken, the faith was shaken, and things were not really stable. So later, because of that experience, so then I realized that yes, struggling with faith, there is two aspects of faith, right? There is the Komal faith, the people who have weak faith, and then there is those who have the strong faith. So those people who have strong faith, they will never attach themselves to individuals, they'll never cling to individuals, as they will always see Krishna's hand. And those who may have very sensitive faith, they may attach themselves to people, and then when something goes wrong with the people, they don't know where to go. So we need to learn these. And if people come to us, because we will also like share Krishna consciousness, everything. So then when people come to us, we should also be aware to not let people become attached to us, but rather how to make them become attached to Lord Chaitanya, how to make them attached to Lord Srila Prabhupada. So this is a very important duty for us. Then so that we can help others to not struggle with faith in the future, and also to do that duty for ourselves so we don't struggle with faith in the future. So thank you very much, my dear friends, for listening. And I will end the presentation here. If you have any comments or questions, now is a good time.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. Our glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna to everyone. Very nice lecture. Thank you so much for sharing so many wonderful points. I really like the example you gave about the postman. That makes so much sense. Don't be attached to the postman, attached to the Lord. And one particular thing you mentioned that the temple devotees, how they mistreat each other. And that is very true. It does happen. And the devotees or inspiring devotees, they stop going to the temple and they lose interest in this movement, the Krishna consciousness movement. And you mentioned that guard our minds. So if you can just maybe explain to me a little bit more of that. I know you were talking on the same part or same wavelength, that how devotees get mistreated and how you can, are you referring to how you can guard your minds on that? process?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's a relevant question. See, Srila Prabhupada gave an analogy. What is the analogy Srila Prabhupada gave? He said, this organization is a hospital. We all come here to get treated. And sometimes, like, remember the 4 defects, people make mistakes. So how do we treat another sick friend or a family member? If they're sick, we don't just bother them or push them to, hey, why are you not doing that? We're kind, we're gentle. This person is sick right now. Give them the time. So similarly, if we see sometimes some devotees have some weakness, something happens. So how they usually dealt is they are shunned and don't do this, you cannot do that, and they remove them from all services. And where that person will go, cannot chant, cannot give classes, cannot associate with. Obviously, not just losing faith, but they're forced to kind of give up everything and be left like that. So that's one example of the culture. In an organization, there is that culture. At the same time, there are certain things which are unforgivable or should not be, those people should not be around. For example, child abusers. People who are with child abuse. It's like, no, there's no tolerance on that, right? At the same time, there has to be a very clear distinction and boundary between external and internal. So somebody is a child abuser who has this sickness, severe sickness. So we told them, you're not allowed in the temple anymore. Not to be seen anywhere here. You're banned. I even actually, one of the places in America, I got a message from somebody, email, Mataji, I really want to come and attend your class, but I'm banned to come. Unfortunately or fortunately, I saw the message only after I had given the class. I didn't see the email before. So they wanted me to get permission from the temple president so they could come and listen to my class, something like that. So the point being, in this situation, I don't know what I would do if it was a, it was like a thing. I would just say, sit at home and watch. Why you want to come to the temple? Maybe I would say that. I don't know. So the idea is that if that person with the issues is sincere and everything, it's the time of redemption for them to internally, like Ajamila did, Bilvamangal Thakur did, Pingala did. It's introspection. They need to cleanse their heart and do the process. So it's not a bad thing, isolation, but there also has to be an internal understanding to not want that person to be dead and keep talking about it. Something happened in Mayapur recently, and some big person, very big personality, sannyasi, had fell down, and some things came out very ugly about the person from many years, and we were all in shock. Many people's faith was disturbed and everything. Even me, I was shocked, and I never expected this person's could have such degree of disease and problems. And then what happened is that what I noticed was that the community went on and on and on and on, talking about his sins, talking about his sins, talking about his sins. So there has to be a boundary. There has to be. And then I realized most of these people were causing this chaos online, always talking about this person, always, where is this person? They were trying to find the person. The person left Mayapur, the person left India. It was still like, where is this person? What is it? And everything and everything. They were so obsessed about that person. I realized sometimes it's so easy when we're having deep faith issues, it's very easy to project it on somebody else who makes a mistake as a anchor. Oh, put it external. Instead of facing my inner anarthas, I get triggered by it, and all that comes out, and I put that on one person. So that's the risk of whatever it is, both sides of humiliation, right? If we become part of a group who humiliates somebody, that is also can be very detrimental for our life. It's better to stay aloof. Or if it is done to us, how do we react? Sometime one of my friends went through some defamation. She never did anything, but somehow she got defamed. Nobody was with her. Nobody wanted to stand next to her. And of course, she had faith issues. Of course, she felt I did so much for the community. Then the question came, who did you do all that for? Who? Did we do it for Krishna? Or did we do it for the community members? Or did we do it for ourselves? Did I do it for my reputation? So these are questions that Srimad Bhagavatam answers. When even Ambarish Maharaj, when Durvasa Muni gets angry that he broke the fast, he just was trying, just took little water, and Durvasa Muni becomes very upset, very angry. But Ambarish Maharaj was very clear. He was not trying to please Durvasa. So, my dear friends, this is the conclusion about this question. The conclusion is we don't have to bow down our head before anybody else but Krishna, especially when we know that we have Guru and Shastra on our side. We don't have to bow down. But also, it doesn't mean that we have to get into unnecessary argument. My grandmother used to say, don't throw stone at. I mean, she wouldn't say shit, but she would say, don't throw stone at Segni. Segni means cow dung. Like it's a wet cow dung. If you go and throw a stone at it, it will splash on you. So if there is somebody talking dirty things, they are negative, they don't want actually vada. Vada means discussion, fair discussion. What they want to do vitanda. Vitanda means want to destroy the other person. They want to do character defamation of the other person. They're not interested actually in the argument. Jalpa is the middle one. Jalpa means you want to win. Somehow or another, you want to win the argument. So there are three types of arguments or discussions. One is Vada. Vada means discussion, like Krishna and Arjuna. Arjuna says, no, but I don't want to kill my relatives. And then Krishna discusses. No, he's open. Arjuna is open. And the next level is like you want to win the argument, like Keshava Kashmiri and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Both of them wanted to win. Keshava Kashmiri spoke 100 verses, beautiful verses, and Lord Chaitanya left 99 perfect verses and picked on one verse which had a little thing, and so that's called Jalpa. Jalpa means you want to win an argument. And the third is Vitanda. Vitanda means you just don't care about the argument. You just want to destroy the person. You want to make that person, in English it's called ad hominem attack. So it means you attack the person. You're not actually addressing the issue. So like that with the same issue, when things go on in the temple, you have to look at it. What level of people am I dealing with? So better not to get into arguments, discussions, because it will lead to offenses. So if we are struggling with faith, we pray to the Lord. We go to somebody, we have faith, and don't depend on them. So when I say guard yourselves, means knowing these truths of life, that there are 4 defects, that Krishna is the only perfect person. Except Guru and Krishna, we should not put unconditional faith in any other human being. There was a thing, like my husband, when he joined in the beginning years, he was told that anybody who's initiated, whatever they say it's very true. And so he believed in it for a while. And then once in a class, he said, so anybody who's initiated, they say that means it's true, right? And then the devotee said, no, it's not like that. So sometimes we are very naive. We think that, oh, senior devotee means this. Oh, no, we have to be careful not to offend, but we also need to put our guards up and say, no, everybody has their character things. I'm nobody to judge. But I also don't want to give my life. My emptiness should not be filled by some authority figure. That's like a long, short answer. But ultimately, the idea is put our guards up means always remember that Krishna is our guard and guardian, and the true higher power is Krishna. And we shouldn't put anybody else as higher power. We should not put any other person as higher power.
Thank you so much.
One other analogy comes to my mind when my mentor gave me this analogy. It really has helped me so much in my life. It's the analogy of a train. So there's a train, there's the engine room, and then there are the compartments. So the engine room is my relationship with Krishna and Guru and Krishna. That's my engine room. And the rest of the compartments are my husband, my friends, my family, my fans, my whoever, the rest of the compartments. So the idea is that we need to guard the engine room very, very diligently. Means I have to keep the engine room in a good shape and everything. So I shouldn't neglect the engine room or go here and there and neglect the engine room. What's going on in the engine room? I don't know. something is going on, but other compartments are very important. If I prioritize other compartments, if I'm not maintaining the engine room, it's big problem. So I always remember that. Like, what does it mean to guard? To always remember, don't become desperate to go and take care of other compartments unless and until the engine room is safe and the right track and all that, which means chanting our rounds and whatever the basics. No matter how desperate we are, we don't go and give our lives in anybody's hands, because engine room is off, we're off. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Thank you.
Any other comments or any other questions?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Yeah, these are amazing prayers. Maybe we can save them on your channel, on the WhatsApp channel. But two things that really resonated with me is that we should always check, what is my real identity, we're a guru servant, and always a servant, and also we should always check ourselves. How do we behave? We can break someone's heart, or we can take them to Krishna. So we always have to have that in check. So thank you so much. Really amazing prayers that you shared with us, and I feel like I should keep them as an affirmation and recite them daily. So yeah, thank you so much, Radhaji.
Maybe I should convert them into English poetry and put it
Yeah.
up in a AA. This fits very well in 7th step and all that. So maybe we can put it there. That's a good point. I'm gonna write that. Anything else? All right then. Thank you so much for your attention. Please accept my obeisances. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you. Hare Krishna.